G'day traders, John from Crypto Candlestick Trading. Just doing a quick update on Bitcoin and just having a look at the previous previous support becoming new resistance over here on our left to around about where we are today. And we can see we've got a nice big push here with barely any volume. This to me is a little bit of a concern because we've got, okay, we do have volume that's popped, like it is above average, but we've got a candle here that's massive, absolutely massive. It's almost like exuberant. It's like we've pushed so far out the gate so quickly that it needs a rest already. That's almost like the way I'm seeing it at this stage here. If we look at when, we've got a low and a high, on a higher low, we're broken out. Like sometimes we do get a bit of a push with those ones, but if we go up and we push, and we get back to here and the same kind of thing again, we don't really get candles that big, and that volume, that volume is around about the same size as these ones, and the candles are, like half the size. And, if you go through, you can see examples after examples of that, which basically says to me that this here, we've got half the volume for twice the size candle, which basically says to me that there's a little bit too much has gone into this candle, and market makers are probably, possibly taking it up there to lure in all the amateur traders and investors and gamblers in the markets, and so they can, start buying here and hopefully take off to the north. But the thing is, it's not. This here is okay. It's doing the right things, but is it really doing the right things at this stage here? I'm almost thinking. I'm not almost thinking. Like, a lot of my analysis is saying that these lows aren't finished yet. So I'm almost expecting some sort of a reversal or some sort of rejection from this area. We'll just have a look. That's on the daily chart. Sorry, that's on the weekly chart. I'll just go through, just while I've got these drawings on here, I'll just go through the rest of the watch list just quickly, just so you can kind of see what it looks like with the weekly chart on it, and here with all the moving averages and stuff. And here, there's nothing special here, to buy or to sell with Monero. And Ethereum was pretty much the same, even though we did have a bit of a breakout. But have a look how weak that breakout is. We've got no volume backing it up, and we've sold off around about 15-20% at the top there as well when we break through, which doesn't, I like solid, solid entries, solid candles, all that sort of stuff. So here, not much there as well. We've got a nice engulfing there. We didn't close above the 9 or anything. Here, no, not much there at all. And so just shrinking this up a little bit so we can get a better picture of it. This is still looking like it's down. It doesn't look same again here. We're still, we've got support, breakthrough, resistance, and resistance again, but we're still down. This is all on the weekly chart again, as I said, and it's still the same again. So we're getting engulfing here that's taking us up to the 50, and then it looks like so far we could still potentially be carrying on our downtrend. And here, look at Monero, Neo, highs, lows, lower highs, lower lows, and breaking through this previous support becomes now new resistance. So Neo's had a great little run. It's gone from $6.50 to $16. And so it's had a nice little run, but look where it's got to. It's got previous support becomes now new resistance. And we're broken above the 50, and we're sold off more than 50% on that particular candle. But, there's good volume, coming into this market. That's for sure. That's one thing we can see is good volume here. But is this, to me, this looks tired and it needs a rest. We'll just have to wait and see. I'll go through a few more of these others just while we're on the weekly chart, and then we'll go through the daily chart. So Ripple was looking really good, actually. There was a lot of talk about Ripple, and I think it went up. I think I saw it up. It was, like 34% one day or something like that. It was quite good. And anyway, but here, it's gone up. Where's it gone to? Previous support, resistance, and now the 200 resistance again. So for me, this would have been a nice short right here at the 200. Anyway. That's just where I'm looking at it. I like to do my top-down analysis. I like to look at the weekly chart first and down to the daily chart, especially on Monday. We need to be checking the weekly chart on a Monday. And and then when you go in and check the weekly chart, then you go through the daily. So here now, this to me does not look like we're in an uptrend, and this is ADA. And, highs, lows, lower highs, lower lows. We did reach an extreme kind of a low here and then back up, but we got a massive engulfing off the 200. That's got to be saying something. Then we're getting engulfing below all the moving averages. Now we're getting actually into currencies. Oh, I did actually get Litecoin. We'll have a look at Litecoin. And here Litecoin, it's had a great little run, Litecoin has, but look at where it's at on the weekly chart. This doesn't look like it's going anywhere. We're caught between a rock and a hard place at 200 and the 50, and we've got two other moving averages in between. What I want to do now, traders, is I'll just leave that on there just for a sec. We'll go back to Bitcoin. and just have a look at Bitcoin. And we can kind of see that the day started and it's open and it's a little bit red at the moment. Actually, the week, that's the weekly chart. And so I'll just get rid of those, and we'll just go down to the daily chart and just have a quick look before I... Actually, no, I won't. I'll go and do the weekly chart, and then I'll get rid of these moving averages, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, just so you can kind of get a better idea of what this is. And so here we can see that there's no moving averages or anything on this chart, and so which is pretty good. And then if we go all the way across here, we got support, and then breakthrough support, beautiful engulfing breakthrough there. And then we've come straight back up, flying colors, just to reach this previous resistance. Sorry, previous support becomes new resistance. This to me is a concern. It's a big concern too. We've got a perfect looking doji there, which basically means indecision. So if we have had a massive push, a pullback, which is good, and then another massive push up to this level here, now we've got massive indecision. What could we probably expect? Massive indecision as well at a very, very strong support line. So what could we probably expect from this area? One thing big money does do, like for me, as I was saying, this looks to me like exuberance and exuberance here. So one thing that big money will usually do, just to get up, to take out any stop losses are up here for people going short, what they'll usually do is they'll go up to there and then pull back, and then we'll just go from here, down here, and maybe pull back to there and then continue our downtrend. Just to come up here, like it's what's called a liquidity grab. So they'll just come up here because I know that there's a lot of people wanting to buy to go long, and also people wanting to sell to go short. But the main thing is, and also if there's people going short, they're going to have the stop losses here as well, so they're going to have to buy back. So big money, if they're going to go short here, they don't want buyers up the top here. So what they'll do is they'll come up and get rid of everyone's stop losses up there, and also entries. So if you're going long here, like just above this line here, then you're in a long position now, and then they've tanked it. And then all of a sudden, if they've tanked it there, your long position is now in the red. And this is exactly what they want to do. They want to come up here and get everyone's coin at that price and then plummet at this stage here. If it was in the lows, it'll be the same for the lows going up. But this here, I can see this as a potential liquidity grab, and I'm just a little bit concerned about that, simply because we've got this exuberance here that's coming up from down to these lows. These entries that have that we've been offered, I do like the last bounce at the 200, but the ones before that, I was a little bit hesitant, and also with this exuberance and stuff, and the volume just doesn't seem to be very strong for a big, massive bull market at this stage here. If we look down here at these, this on the weekly chart here, we can see one, good strength buying that's coming, at that stage there. Let's have a look at the daily chart. And now here with the daily chart, looking at this here. So, we can actually see there's, like been accumulation in here, a little bit of accumulation down to these lows here. But, like this accumulation that's in these lows, it's almost like it's been used up here. We've got a bit of congestion and consolidation happening here. What will happen here? We're going to break out to the north side or break it down to the south side. I'm going to be, here we can see quite a bit of indecision, but for me, like I'm going to be looking for shorts. If I see longs, I'm going to trade whichever way the market trades, that's the way I'm going to be trading. So if we do get a break up, above here like that, I'll probably be trading north, but I want to be very, very confident. And, it has to have a lot of things going for it if that was the case. I'm not really expecting that will be the case. What I'm expecting the case to be is something similar to that, like a potential, maybe push to the higher side and then a decline. That's, but I can't trade what I think. I've got to trade what the market. I'm just kind of making up a plan to see as to what could potentially happen. Here, if we go down to the south side, I'm going to be trading south. If we go to the north side, which I'm not in favour of because we've got exuberance here. But if we do trade at the north side, I am going to have a look at the north side. But I would much rather trade at the south side, simply because I think that we are in, like it just looks high to me, and I don't think we're finished. If we're looking at the rest of the crypto market, it is definitely not ready to run. And if we're looking at Bitcoin as well, Bitcoin has just hit a resistance area and produced a doji after exuberance. So, I'm just not all that comfortable with it. All right, traders. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'll put these moving averages back on so you can kind of, get an idea of where we're at just before I finish off. And so that's that there. I'll just get rid of these drawings too, so we can kind of get a better idea. And here with Bitcoin, one place that they were looking at, just so I can continue this. So we've got resistance and resistance. We've broken through that resistance there like that. We even broke through there for a test, and but massive selling that happened there. we've gone up, with exuberance, and now we're, depends on what happens here now that we've reached this other previous support becomes new resistance, which is where we're at right now. Anyway, traders, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm not really interested in buying anything at this stage here. Because just what we saw in the crypto market back then, I'm waiting for a very clear short or long at this stage. And at this stage, I am not seeing it being up in these highs. Anyway, traders, if you have any questions, please get in contact with me and we'll go through some charts and whatever if you need to talk about that. Otherwise, I'll talk to you again soon. See you.